Welcome back to the Secret Sex Lives of Muslim Women. I'm your host, Salma Hindi. Today, we have an in-person studio guest who flew in all the way from California, Aleeyaa. She is a second-year MPH student who holds a bachelor's in global health from USC. She's incredibly passionate about bridging the gap between public health education and practice, specifically in the context of sexual health. She uses digital content creation and entertainment education as tools in translational science to help bridge gaps between community knowledge and sexual health, rights, and pleasure. Aleeyaa, welcome to the pod.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
You just flew in yesterday. Love.
It was red eye, so
I love.
I'm a little sleep deprived. I was like, you got me sleep deprived.
Yeah,
so.
but you know, New York is wired. New York is high energy, chaos, especially where we are.
Yeah, I came in and immediately it was like, go, go, go.
Yeah.
It's like, what is this? This is not California. This is like so fast paced now.
Yeah, we are the opposite. We're like cocaine energy and LA is weed energy. You know what I mean? LA, California. Yeah. Okay, so both Aleeyaa and I are, well, I'm not a virgin anymore, but I really do be identifying as one still because I was a virgin till I was 30, 31, and then I've been celibate for like the past almost 2 years. So it's almost like I'm a virgin all over again. I really
starting all over.
Starting all over.
Scratch.
I really relate to that lifestyle and that experience because that was my life for so long and kind of still is. And I make jokes about how I'm an incel sometimes because I am celibate, but sometimes it feels like I'm a volcel. Sometimes it feels like I'm an incel.
Not a choice.
Okay, yeah.
You're like sometimes it's not voluntary.
Yeah,
actually.
Exactly. We're here. We're virgins. Okay, virgin-esque, and we're here to talk about sex because nobody loves to talk about sex more than virgins.
Exactly.
You know why? Because we're not having it.
No one likes to talk about sex more than me, actually.
Yeah. If I was having sex right now, I wouldn't be here. I'm straight up right now. If I was getting railed right now, we would not be doing this episode. We would not have to be here. Okay.
I'd be busy. I'd be booked.
I would be exhausted right now. My skin would be glowing.
I wouldn't have to fake it. Like, I'd be good.
I would be releasing toxins. I would just be... Anyways, it's fine. We're here. Okay, we're here.
That's what matters.
Yeah.
Actually, we're present.
Okay, so do you want to tell the listeners, the viewers, a little bit about yourself and what drew you to this podcast?
Yeah. So I work in sexual health. I've been working in sexual health for about 2 years now, going on 3. Mm-hmm. And that's officially. Unofficially, I actually started when I was like 16 and I didn't know it. It came in the form of hanging out with friends and talking about relationships, talking about sex. One time my friend actually broke up with her long-term boyfriend and she was just confiding in me and she's like, I don't really know where to go from here. I feel like I didn't get to explore myself or what I'm into. And so I locked her in my car. I took her on a drive and I did some consensual kidnapping. I locked her in my car and I played a sex podcast. And I paused the podcast every time they'd bring up like a kink or something someone's into. And I'd be like, okay, are you into that? I'm into that. Or like, I'm not into that. Even though I had no experience, it's very much like theoretically based off of the description. I don't know if I'd be into it. Maybe I would be into it.
Right.
Yeah. And so it was a lot of those conversations.
Right. Okay. So pause for a second and then rewind. So tell us where you were born, like where you grew up, however much you're comfortable sharing. Because, you know, Muslims we're not a monolith. We come from like so many different backgrounds. So just so people understand like what your background is.
So I grew up in California, born and raised. Mm-hmm. And I grew up in a Pakistani-American household. Okay. And I would say we're moderate. I wouldn't say we're the most religious, like family conservative out there. I would definitely say my mom or like the elders of my family are a little bit more conservative or practicing religious. Mm-hmm. And then in terms of like me and my cousins and things like that, we very much live the American lifestyle in the sense where we're figuring out where we fall on the spectrum, whether or not we're super religious or some of us are more religious than others.
Right.
So I think it just depends.
And then what were the unspoken or spoken rules around sex and relationships and dating growing up?
So in my household, the spoken rule was you're not going to like be having premarital sex. That was actually it was unspoken.
Right. But
it was very much like there. It felt spoken in a sense.
Right.
And then in terms of relationships, it was very strange because up until I was 18, 19, it was like swear off of boys, like, you know, just don't interact with boys, they're a distraction. And it kind of felt the same when I was in university, and then when I graduated recently, now it's kind of shifted into, well, if you're like,
where's your husband?
Yeah. Yeah.
Immediately. Where is he this whole time?
Exactly.
Where is he? Yeah.
Like, which corner have you been hiding him in, actually?
Yeah.
Actually, it was so strange because my cousin just got married like a few weekends ago, and everyone in the family collectively were like, okay, you're next, Aleeyaa. I was
Right.
like, who's we?
Right. Oh my God. Well, this is such a common Muslim girl experience where it's like, don't talk to boys, don't look at them. And then the second you're done,
Yeah.
basically, they're like, yeah, where's your husband?
Yeah, they're like, so are you open to like meeting people?
Yeah.
Like should we start introducing, you know, send the like Rich the aunties your like information? And I'm like, oh, like I guess, I don't know, like, you know, because
So are you in that process right now?
No.
Okay.
it's more so I'm not done with my degree. I'm not done with my master's. I want to finish my education. I want to like kind of establish myself, and that was actually something my mom did a very like good job of, where she was like, regardless of what as a culture you're being taught in this household, you do not come to me without a master's. Like, you do not come to me without like post-grad.
Listen, like Arab parents are very, very strict, but when it comes to academics, like I really do think Southeast Asians, they take the cake. Like Desis, they really do. Like the things I've heard Desi parents say to my friends, like to their own children. You won't be my son if you don't get into med school. Classic.
Yeah.
That's a regular.
That is a
What do you
regular.
mean?
That wasn't a regular in my household, however.
Okay,
like, it
that's
was,
good.
Yeah, it was just
But
like,
you're also not a man. I don't know. I don't know about the pressure. I do feel like the pressure is a little bit more on men, depending on the family.
Yeah.
But maybe that plays a role.
we were talking about, because I do have a brother, and we were talking about this, and it is kind of more so in the sense where the pressure is for him to do something that allows him to sustain a family.
Right.
Versus like for me and my sister, it's kind of like, do something.
Right.
Just don't like sit at home.
Right. Don't not do anything.
And do like a profession. Like,
Right.
you know.
Right.
And obviously there's caveats to that. Like,
Right.
I was super
not every
artistic.
profession,
I was super like,
Yeah.
you can't go into the arts. No, like, you know, be professional.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Something that would impress people who hear about it. Yeah.
Something that like people wouldn't be confused as to, you let your daughter go into that. Like,
Right.
why, you know.
Okay, so your family is a little bit more cultural, which still emphasizes the no premarital sex and, you know, marrying into like a certain status or, you know, I guess group. By that I mean like someone who's educated, whatever, similar cultural background, etc. So have you dated in the past? Like, what was your experience like growing up and learning about your body, learning about sex? Like, when was the first time you learned about sex and then realized that pleasure is really important to you?
I think I learned about sex when I was, I don't know, like 12. And yeah, like that's when you have the talk in California, I think. Like, you're 10 or 12, like 5th, 6th grade. So around that age, maybe.
And it was at school?
It was at school.
Okay.
Yes. We had the period talk at home, which was fine. Like, but that is a different conversation. That's not like sex.
Right.
So I've had that conversation, and going into middle school, high school, I was just, for a while I thought it was asexual, because I was like, I don't like anyone.
Right.
Like, I'm not attracted to anyone the same way my friends are, and I would have crushes. And there's this quote, like, my friend has, you know, you've been friends for so long, they have like a list of quotes that you say that's like out of pocket, and one of them that I can never like live down is, I was describing my crush and I was like, I want to like date him, but I don't want to kiss him. I just kind of want to like be friends with him, but like dating him.
Right.
And my friends were like, you just want a friend.
Right.
Like, that's not a relationship. And I was like, no, but like, I have a crush on him. You did not have a crush on him.
So
girl.
you were really genuinely at that time not feeling sexually attracted to anyone?
There was like no one.
And why do you think that is? Was that a lack of connection with your own body and your own pleasure?
I do think so. I think it was that. I also think it's a mental block when you grow up in like a culture that emphasizes marrying within the same religion or the same culture. I think I would see people and I'd immediately screen them and be like, okay, well, you're not Muslim, so like out the door. You know, there's no future, which at 12 is crazy. Like 14, 15, that's insane.
That's the thing. Like, if the only context you're allowed to think about like dating someone in is eternal marriage, like think about the pressure and just all the barriers to you experiencing intimacy, which should be a lot lower stakes. We can get into, all the emotional implications and ways that men harm women, and how people can argue that contracts and marriage, etc., maybe can support a woman's rights materially and whatever. But I just think that we have to allow a teenhood. We have to have like some phase in your life for a small duration where it's encouraged and not shameful and not a failure to have intimate experiences or romantic experiences that are short-lived.
Yeah, I agree. And also, I think you should encourage that phase in adulthood too.
Right?
I think even at 22, like the idea of eternal marriage is kind of like,
well, we didn't have a teenhood. Like a traditional.
Exactly. That is true.
That's what I'm advocating for. I'm advocating for like the white person's teenhood, the Muslim woman's 30s to 40s.
Yes.
That's what I'm advocating for.
You know what? Yeah.
It's called the Muslim inflation rate. Like by the time you break free of parental control and you realize you're not going to hell for talking to the opposite gender, bam, you're 40. Do you know what I mean?
Let's like merge the timelines.
Yes.
Let's all collectively girlhood,
Yes.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think
even your 20s is a whole thing. Your 20s, like your teens, you're still just kind of stepping up to the plate. You maybe have a boyfriend with no sex. Maybe you're starting to dabble into sex, especially late teens. Then in your 20s, that's when you're supposed to like literally go wild, which means date whoever you want, whatever, do everything, and then see how you feel and figure out what you actually like, and then then after that, you're just supposed to become your highest sexual.
Yes. Unlock a new potential.
Like the highest level of sexual heathen goddess you can ever imagine.
Yeah.
And then you just stay in that. So we're trying to cram all of it in one decade.
Yes.
3 decades into one. That's a lot,
It's a lot of work.
It's so much.
And you have to put in the work. Like I feel
have
like
to
people
actively
don't realize that.
Yes. You have to put in the work. You have to actively work on your body and your connection to your body physically, somatically. That's like a whole thing. Explore your own sexual pleasure in over a lot of time and over a lot of curiosity, because you're going to learn and unlock so much on your own that you can then bring into the bedroom. Like all the homework you do by yourself is just going to make your experience so much better, because you're going to be able to direct your partner and tell them to do whatever you want.
Yeah. And I think also it's not even sexual pleasure. It's just pleasure in general. I think as like women, as we're taught, like we don't indulge in our pleasures, or like guilty like things like that, where everyone has like these guilty pleasures almost that they want to like partake in, but they don't, maybe out of fear.
Right.
You have to like partake in that. You have to figure out, how do I make each day like fun, sexy, and pleasurable?
Right.
Otherwise it's not, it's going to be a one-off experience in the bedroom, and then it's just not a fulfilling life, I feel.
Right. So true. Yeah. I feel like sex is, we're so intrigued by it for a reason, obviously. I mean, aside from the fact that we're both virgins. I mean, I'm not a virgin, but I am. Anyway,
she is.
I haven't had sex in so long. I'm hungry. Okay, anyways. I just have a mental breakdown.
Yeah. But, it's just you in the corner being like,
please. But our relationship to sex like changes throughout our life. I've learned a lot about myself and sex too, which is that I value it a lot, and I want a partner who really values it, who really prioritizes it. Like, I don't know, I'm hearing about how Gen Zs are barely having sex, and I was seeing a Gen Z recently. Yeah, they're kind of like,
the white women are having sex. Like, I'm like, this is for Gen Z as a whole.
Yeah.
Imagine Muslim Gen Z women, right? Like, that statistic is low.
Maybe our sexual repression will actually push us forward in this moment in time. Yes. Who knows? You know what I mean? Because I think maybe the having less sex relates to maybe the depression that we were talking about earlier. But because I don't know who needs to hear this, but you're not asexual. You're just depressed.
Yes.
Okay, I love you. Anyways.
Straight in the camera for that one.
Straight into the camera.
Yeah, straight into the soul.
I realized that I don't want someone to just like be kind of like very nonchalant about sex, or like, us, especially because of considering how long I haven't had sex for and how much I'm like a dam about to burst. Do you understand? Like, if you're going to have sex with me, you better fuck me nonstop for 2 weeks. Otherwise, like, why did you open Pandora's box?
True. What? You're like, why are you here then?
I'm dying. No, literally. You need to quench this. So, but nobody has really the time. This is what I'm saying. If we were in a dorm room,
Yes.
I could have gotten this out of my fucking system.
Yeah, and it didn't, like, you could have done it with multiple people.
That's what
like,
I'm
there's
saying.
Options.
I know.
Rotating mouth.
Thank God, sexual health. I'm really,
Yes.
really, really grateful for my health. But like,
Everyone get tested.
Everyone get tested.
Use condoms.
Use condoms. Yeah. Have safe sex. Wait, okay. So now let's talk we're all over the place. Okay, now let's talk about your work and what you're passionate about.
So the way I was introduced to sexual health, which was by like my boss and like USC professors and things like that.
Right.
They coined this term called the triangle of sexual health. And so there's a little triangle, okay? And at the top is sexual health, and then one branch is sexual pleasure, and then the other is sexual rights. So health is like get tested, use a condom, right? So that goes into the health, the biomedical aspect of it. And then rights.
Which, can I just say, this is always, like, it's such a huge responsibility to fall on the woman. We really just need men to consider this more, because it's exhausting. Like, it takes two people to make a baby and to also transfer an STD. Yeah. So let's just fucking be considerate.
It's also like if it falls on the woman, like, we have a lot of shame then, because it's like, do I bring a condom to a hookup? Like, I've had friends ask that.
Right.
Do I bring a condom to a hookup? Do I get on birth control preemptively?
Right.
Like, how do I navigate this without seeming like too desperate or too like sluttish for it?
I literally bring condoms.
Yeah,
I bring
as
lube.
you should.
I bring my own vibrator. I'm like, I don't trust you to complete the job. Just in case you need some backup.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Like, it's supposed to be pleasurable for both of us.
Exactly.
I come prepared.
Me losing my virginity in Egypt. Okay, I literally lost my virginity. I'm not even joking.
Egypt?
Yes.
Oh,
by the Red Sea in Sinai.
Oh.
Which I'm literally sleeping with this guy in like a fucking hut on like a bunk bed right by the Red Sea. And I was taking a long time. I didn't come on like the first time. We hooked up the first time, but no penetration. And he did make me come. Then the second time I was taking a long time. It's like either 15 seconds or 15 business days.
Yeah.
Right? So I was headed towards the 15 business days, and he was getting impatient. And then I was like, do you want to use my vibrator? So I pull out my vibrator. This man is in a village in Egypt, okay? He has never seen this fucking device. This is contraband in Egypt. Like, this.
I was gonna say, are they even like?
No.
How'd you bring it in? Like, don't they have strict travel laws?
No, you can sneak it into your. Yeah, it's chill. I could just be like, oh, it's a back massager, like, especially because it's for my foot. So anyway, I give it to him. He's like, what is this? And I'm like, he's never seen it in his life. 2 seconds later, he's on like the highest setting. Give a man a gadget and he'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a mission. He had a mission, actually.
But then after I came, and I remember, obviously my orgasm was like intense as they are. And then he was like, whoa, but it's way more intense with the vibrator. And he was like, whoa. And then he goes, I didn't like it. I was like, why? He's like, I don't know, just something about it. I just didn't like it. I was like, it's like his toxic masculinity coming out, but he doesn't even know anything. Like, he has no idea about the conversations that, we're having about this, that like Americans talk about, the way we talk about sex or whatever. But yeah, I found that like so funny that he, number one, was an expert at using it and then hated it.
Yeah, I was going to say, so why did he use it then? Like,
I think he just wanted to get me there.
I was like, he must have been like, okay, like, this is taking a hot second. Like, let's speed this up.
Yeah. Meanwhile, but see, that's something that I noticed is a big issue for me, is like, I don't want to just have junk food, like 30-minute sex. Or I love the sex that we had. It was hot, but could have just been a one-off thing, because that was the one and only time like we actually had sex. And I just felt like, I don't want this. I want someone who prioritizes. I want someone who's like, let's fuck for like 3-4 hours. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
Like, I had one of my best experiences ever. This guy came over and like, I really liked him after whatever. We had a whole thing, but I told him I don't want to have sex. I'm serious and I don't want to kiss. And he's like, okay, I'm serious. Because kissing is very, very intimate for me.
I think kissing is the most intimate thing you can do. I think kissing is more intimate than sex.
I 100% agree.
You're in my face.
We're
that's
on
my
Subway
breath.
takes right now.
Yeah.
100% agree.
Like,
100%.
That's my breath. Like, you're literally in. No, sorry.
You're
like,
in my face. Also, it's so weird because I can like do a kiss on its own completely in like a setting, let's say an exciting night out or feeling in the moment or whatever, but it wouldn't be a make out. It would just be like a peck.
Yeah.
That's genuine. and then I can do kind of sex. It's like the bridging them together also is very, very, very
intense.
intense.
Into like my emotional connection for that. I feel.
Yes.
That's just my humble opinion.
100%.
I think kissing is just one of the most intimate things you can do as a person, like as a couple.
Totally. And I want a good kisser right away. Like I don't have the patience to like train someone.
Yeah.
But
like figure it out.
Yeah.
Come prepared.
Exactly. So he comes over, I tell him no sex, no kissing. And then for literally 3 hours, we were just like exploring each other's bodies. Like we were naked, but I think we kept like our underwear on. And he didn't come. I didn't come. I didn't try to make him come. He didn't try to make me come. There was no pressure. And it was like the best night of my life. I'm not even joking. It was like 3 hours where it felt like we like took time and stretched it out into the tiniest particles. It felt like we went to a portal. Like we looked at the clock and we saw 3 hours had passed. Like that's what it felt like. It was just so amazing to be like discovering slowly. And I discovered so many sensitivities till this day in my body that night that I didn't know was so sensitive. Because when everything's fast, like you're not realizing what's actually extra. I do think that like kissing, and I told him I tried kissing him and then I didn't like it. Like I was like, I don't want it. It doesn't feel, it feels forced. It feels like a few steps ahead. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think there's like ways to build up intimacy, and like a side note, that night sounds very pleasurable, right? Like it's pleasure centered. You're not looking to orgasm. You're just looking to like figure it out.
Right.
And I think that's an aspect of like sexual pleasure that I'm like advocate for. And I feel like people don't understand where I'm like, you don't need to be having sex to like explore sexual pleasure.
Right.
Like it doesn't have to be penetrative sex.
Right.
It can be anything. It can be solo too. You don't need a partner. But that sounds like a very pleasurable experience for you. Like, you learned a lot, right? Like you walked out knowing more.
Oh my God. I felt like we were both like changed humans coming out of it. Like, wow, I was not expecting that. And then he was like, I want to see you again. I want to see you again. When I was kicking him out, and then texted me like, I want to see you again. Like there was no playing any game because we were just like, whoa, like it was very, very powerful. Yeah. And we didn't do oral or anything. There was no pressure. Like it was just like, it started off, I like to start off with a massage because I really do feel like it's sensual. And to me, I have like a really tight hips or lower back, and I feel like when they actually start to massage me, and I like to massage people too, and I teach them how to do it. When they start to do that with me, my body starts to relax and really like open up, and then I'm more receptive to any pleasure. I don't like penetration the first time I hook up with someone because I'm just scared. I don't know them, but I do like to like, if they like put a finger inside me, I like to say, okay, stop, because I still feel pain the first time because I don't really fully know them. And then when they stop, them stopping, noticing, stopping, or listening, that's enough to make me like seal the deal with them. Be like, oh, okay, I trust you. Not in that session, but the next time I'll be like, I want to fuck you because I trust you now.
Yeah, because they listen. Like, and that also goes into like boundaries and things like that, right? Like those are things that you have to discover, and I'm like really glad to hear that you stand on your boundaries, because I feel like a lot of women, like, they struggle with once you're in the moment. And I've heard this from all ages, like from people in their 20s to people a lot older.
Right.
When you're in the moment and you're hooking up with someone, especially when the feelings are there, like it, especially the fast-paced hookups.
Right.
It's really hard to be like, pause.
Right.
We're ending this, or like next time,
Yes, that comes with practice. That also comes with, you're a woman, like, let's be fucking for real. He wants the sex more than you, and that's always going to be your upper hand. If he doesn't and he wants you out, then he just wanted to use you basically, and you were never going to have a good time anyways. Like, there was one time I like hooked up with this guy, and he was young, and this other guy was very young. World of a difference in the two experiences. He just literally, I think he came putting the condom on, or like as soon as he was like inside me, like for a split second, and I was like, and then he was like, oh, I have to leave tomorrow, and like he kicked me out basically. I was like, you're a fucking asshole. Literally deleted, blocked him, never fucking saw that guy ever again in my life. Dead to me.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And I was like, what the hell was all that? But there was a lot of signs leading up to it, like him only messaging me when he's like ready or when he wants to hang out, him messaging very late, blah blah blah. Like there's a lot of signals where you're like, this guy, not that he's not for real, because once again we're not thinking about marriage and forever, but like this guy's not treating me with the respect and decency that I deserve. Doesn't seem like he's gonna be good in bed. And I was right about it. He was awful in bed.
Yeah,
you know,
because it's almost like fuckboys have a reputation. And it's because they're very like me-centered, right?
Right.
And so those attributes are going to translate in bed.
Right.
Regardless, you can't take the like personality out of whoever you're having sex with.
100%.
So however they act like day to day, that's how they're going to act in bed.
It's so true. To me, a good lover in bed is someone who is perceptive, someone who is generous, someone who, just has the patience and curiosity and like the willingness to explore with you. You know, they're not in a hurry to get to whatever outcome you're trying to get to, whatever that looks like.
And it's like, it goes back to the nonchalance that you said, because I hate nonchalance. Like a nonchalant man, biggest turn off in life, right? And so if someone's nonchalant, they're not going to really care all too much in the bedroom, right? Like those things translate, and I'm fully with you with like, I want someone who's passionate. I want someone who cares actually more than anything.
Right. Yeah.
And like we'll figure it out.
And it's so interesting because like you think you have an idea of a person and then you get into the bedroom with them and you see a completely different side of them, or you bring out a different side of them. Like there are so many moments where I'm in the bedroom or like I'm hooking up with a guy where I'm like, I know I'm increasing this guy's confidence like permanently, you know, in this moment.
You're altering their brain chemistry
absolutely
right now.
No, truly. And it's usually like they're very endearing, they're respectful of me, they're trying to simp for me, at least in the beginning. You know, eventually at some point these motherfuckers be switching up, but like in the beginning, so then I feel like I want to reward you. I want to reward this behavior, you know? And then when I do that, like their confidence like increases, and then that brings out like a better, more confident version of them in the bedroom. Whereas there's so many things I could have scoffed at, could have gotten the ick about, could have been annoyed at, could have let it interrupt, for instance, the momentum or whatever. And I just like ignored, or I just looked over, or just, you know, I saw the earnestness in them, the sincerity, and I go with that. And then they're like a different person. Yeah. Like this young 20-something-year-old is now like a fucking daddy. He's like a 40-year-old man all of a sudden in front of me because I brought that out of him, you know, or he felt safe enough to bring that part of him out.
Because it's so intimate. So if you're in like a situation with someone and they don't like, you know, something awkward happens, and they pause and they like make fun of it, or they like point it out, you're already in your head, you know, like everyone's in their head during sex, by the way, and even men. And if they say they aren't, they're lying. I don't know.
They definitely are. You can see it on them. They're so nervous. They have this pressure of like having to direct the session, and therefore like, and then also hold off on their climax till you kind of get there. Like they're calculating the fucking timing. There's like a whole production company going on in their brain. You know, I'm like, okay, surrender. My goal is to make my hole as loose as possible for you.
Which is crazy because so many women struggle with the surrendering part too, because like, so many of us are in our heads, which to be fair, like it's very intimate. It puts you in like, it kind of puts everyone on their heels. Yes. Even though everyone's having sex, everyone's on their heels when they're having sex. Yes. You know? Like they're kind of like, I don't know where to go from here. Especially if you're trying something new. Right. If you're trying like a new position, a new partner, a new anything. What do I do? Right. Where do I go? How do I do this?
Right. You know? Totally. I want to talk about vaginismus for a split second because I obviously love that. But I was talking to a male comedian like a couple days ago. He's in maybe like his mid 40s. And he was telling me when I was describing to him vaginismus, he heard me do my comedy set a couple days before. So he was like, what do you have? This is so crazy. You got medically prescribed dildos. Like, what is that? Whatever. He's like asking me all these questions. And then He tells me that he couldn't even get his prostate checked without screaming. He was sweating, he was crying, and they're like, we're not even 20% of the way in. He said, this is not happening, I can't do this. And he has to get a colonoscopy soon, and he's fucking terrified. I told him, you literally have the same thing I have, but with your butthole. And he's trying to understand it. And I'm like, you're clenched, you're afraid, you're resisting. And I told him, when I talk to my gay male friends who traditionally top and are now occasionally going to allow another man to top them, so now they're going to bottom for the first time, they always tell me I have to have a really strong connection and trust with that man.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, it's the same thing.
I was going to say it's the same
It's
thing.
literally the same thing.
To be fair, I'm also afraid of colonoscopies. That's my biggest
No,
fear.
of course.
I'm like,
my argument is that men all have their G-spot in their prostate.
Yeah.
So that's an enjoyable hole for them. We have our G-spot in our vagina, right? So it's the same exact comparison.
Yeah. It's a mental block.
It's a mental block. It's an emotional block. It's psychological fear that manifests. Your body is afraid. Personally, and I spoke about this in a previous episode, I was physically abused by the men in my family growing up. And so for a long time in the beginning, when I was in this really intimate space with another man, I was like bracing myself for death or for him physically overpowering me and killing me. Like, truly, I was imagining everything, that he could strangle me, because I did have an experience where I was almost strangled to death when I was like 10 maybe by my brother who was like 17. I really thought I was gonna die. So like, that's why I'm clenched. That's why I'm so tight, because I'm like, I don't know you, number one. I don't even know what you smell like. I don't even know anything about you. And then you could kill me if you wanted to. And I hear crazy stories. And also, the less they know you, the less, like, the more casual and surface level it is, the more audacious they could be.
Yeah.
Because you're not full human yet to them. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the keyboard warrior version of sex. You know what I mean? You can be the worst ever because no one can really hold you accountable. Yeah. So I just know that I don't want to put myself in those situations anymore. And I want to create, like, even I'm okay with having casual sex now, honestly. It's just that after such a long celibacy break, it would mean something. And I want some sort of safety parameters around a casual situation, which is hard to come by, because men have gotten away with honestly giving nothing.
Yeah.
So.
And also when I say, like, I'm all for casual sex if you can do casual sex. I know people who are like, I can't do casual sex. And I'm like, then don't do casual sex. What it sounds like to me is like you've really taken the time to figure it out and figure out what works for you. And I think that is sexual liberation.
Right.
What I don't think sexual liberation is, and I think a lot of people like get this confused, is the idea of like flipping hookup culture on its head. And like now you as a woman are going to go and you're going to like sleep with as many people as you can, which if you want to do that, then like go ahead and do that.
Right.
But also, are you like actually happy? Are you hurting yourself emotionally? Because I know a lot of women,
are you dissociating?
Yes, a lot of women go in and they're just like, oh, like it was okay, but like I didn't really know what else to do. I just wanted to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, instead of being like, okay, like I wanted to have sex, I had sex, and all of my boundaries were in place, all of his boundaries were in place, and it was a great night, and we walked out like, you know, happy, scot-free. Like,
right.
Versus the opposite, where it's like, oh, I'm gonna do a casual hookup. I kind of like him, but I'm not gonna like tell him. I'm gonna like try and play the texting game with him.
Yeah,
things like that. Like,
that never works, because it's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's tough, because it's like, I do want to have sex with a guy that I like, and I'm okay with it not being a full relationship right now, because if I'm being honest, like, I'm more prone to anxious attachment. I'm more prone to fantasy. I'm more the traditional girl, pick me. I've been so used to this for so long. So all the work I'm doing is fighting against that, decentering men and standing on my boundaries and my needs and really honoring them. That's just so hard, obviously. But like, to me, it's important, the company I keep around me, like the girlfriends I have, it's very fucking important to me, the romantic decisions that they're making.
Yes.
Very crucial.
Agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because it impacts you.
It does. And also it impacts what you think is okay. Like, one, because you're seeing all your friends model, like their relationships model a certain way. But also, two, like it impacts the way you feel about yourself as well.
Yeah.
Because if all of your friends are in hookup culture and you don't partake in hookup culture, then inevitably you question your own self-worth.
Right.
Like somewhere along the line,
Right.
At the end of the fun night when all of your girlfriends are like going out with their respective like hookups, sneak links, whatever, and you go home, you're like, oh, like, why didn't anyone want to like hook up with me?
Right.
When in reality, it's like, personally for me, it's like, do I really want to hook up with someone?
That's
like, I don't really necessarily want this.
That's the thing. Like, I remember there was one night, like a couple of years ago, I think it was after I lost my virginity, where I went out and I met like a bunch of Arabs in the city for the first time. And there was this guy and he was kind of like flirting with me and he was like cute and whatever. And he was flirting with me, but I was like, oh, wow. But I was still like, you don't understand. I was like friend zoned my whole fucking life.
Yes.
Okay. Truly, I'm a virgin. I truly relate to incels. Like, I get it. I really get it, guys. Like, and it's crazy because if you were to see me now, like, you wouldn't think that, but it's very true. And in the beginning, when men were expressing sexual interest in me, and keep in mind I was also covered, like veiled, and then I took it off, so my perception of myself, everything was all up in the air, and I was getting all this sexual attention from men that I really actually wanted it from. Let's be fucking clear about that.
That's the key. When you get such attention from people you want it from,
yes,
everything goes out the window. All the therapy, all the boundaries out the window.
Because this is new territory, baby. Yes. I can't even believe what's happening right now. Like, this, like, literally, I would just be like, oh my God, guys, look, like this guy, like I immediately have to post on my close friends because I just can't even handle it. I'm disconnected. I'm in the cloud right now because it's so overwhelming.
The fantasies that are running through the head, like the looks, the touches, the everything. You're sitting there and you're like, oh my God. Like,
exactly.
please.
Like, I could have survived off of all these scraps for years before, and now they're all just coming at me. So I'm not fully taking it in. I'm not fully processing. And so this guy's like hitting on me, whatever. So I was doing what I always did at that time, which is like, oh my God, me? Oh my God. Having to go tell all my friends, having to like get that validation, whatever. But I also do, I do think I'm a slow burner, which is something I'm really just kind of really realizing now. But anyways, so then this other girl who was in the same night as us, she was like very insecure too and interesting, but she was like trying to match my energy. Like, I'm usually the one dancing like a psycho on the dance floor. So she starts like dancing also. She's like the first person I ever met in my life that's like as psychotic as me. I was manic back then, okay? So it's like me and her, these two manic girls. A competition.
Who's more manic?
Literal competition of who's the most manic dancer. So we're both dancing, and then we're starting to go from spot to spot. We're going from party to party. It's becoming a New York night. Yeah. It's like you just like see where the night takes you. And then at one point, we're about to go into a club. He eats like a mint or something. She's like, why is he eating a mint? I'm like, oh, maybe he wants to like make out with someone at the club. So she goes, I'll make out with him. And then I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. And then we go inside and she literally goes, do you want to come to the bathroom with me? Whatever. They go to the bathroom, they start making out. And then eventually, they went home together. I was so fucking mad. The next day, I was fuming. I told my therapist, I was like, they like went home together, blah, blah. I'm so upset, whatever. And she was just like, what do you want? She's like, you could have gone home with him if you wanted to, but you don't want to. Yeah. And I was like,
yeah, you're sitting there and you're like, oh. You're like, oh.
Yeah. I was like, wait, true. Yeah. If you really think about it, I would have been at his place. I would have been like, okay, I guess we're going to do this. Feels too soon. Don't really know you like that. Yeah. Could be good, could be bad. Let's get really drunk maybe. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And also like to that, when in that moment, I'm sure something like clicked and it was like, oh, this feels so personal, right? And then you go to your therapist. And I had this moment recently too where I was like talking to my friend and I was like, I'm going through it, and like, you've met me and I've been going through it since you met me, and she was like, what are you going through? So I listed out all the things I feel like I'm going through, and she's like, yeah, 2 of those are like big life events, and I would say like, okay, yeah, you're going through like these 2 things. Right. The rest of it is called being in your 20s. I sat there and I was like, you just changed my life. Wow. Because I'm the same way. Like, if I was in that situation, I'd take it so personal. I'd come home and I'd be like, why didn't he choose me? And it's like, a lot of people don't choose a lot of people.
Yeah. Rejection. That's right. Nobody takes rejection more personally than me. Oh my God. My brain is working overtime. I have a talent of being able to spin every single thing that happens into a personal rejection. Yes. Like, and then when I'm really personally rejected, wait, because I have to tell you about this. Oh my God, he might see this if I clip it. But I literally asked the guy, I think 2 weeks ago, if he wanted to sleep with me, have casual sex with me, and he said no. The way I literally sobbed for 2 to 3 days. But I know it has nothing to do with him. It's like, and we kissed, him and I. So I know he's attracted to me. He told me, I'm really attracted to you, but I'm like not looking for that right now. Also, he is in comedy, and I know it's complicated because comics try not to be fucking each other because then it can get really messy in the long run, right?
It's a small, tight-knit community.
It is. I mean, it seems massive right now, but with time, it shrinks.
Yeah.
And then you realize I shouldn't have done that. I created all this drama around me in my workplace when I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big part of it. But I saw this meme today that was like, if you're not sleeping with me, you're sleeping against me. And that's my political and spiritual belief towards him. I hope he sees this.
Clip it. Send him the link, actually.
I'm so upset that you rejected me. Oh my God. And it's the second time rejecting me because the first time we were hanging out and then I said, take me out on a date, like a real date. And then he said, okay, I'll let you know. And then he said, I'm not in that position today. I have to he's an alcoholic. Okay. So, yeah. It's serious. Yeah. And then I was like, okay. Then I come back to him like a couple months later. We kind of
spin the block again.
Yeah, exactly. And then I go, well, we don't have to date. We can just have sex, which was a lot for me to ask. For a full week, I was like, okay, what does this mean? Like, what are the parameters and the boundaries emotionally that I would have to have?
Yeah.
Knowing full well, like, I can't change this man. I'm not going to. He might never change. He might not care about me in the way that I would want him to if we were having sex and it was growing our attachment or whatever, our bond. And for a full week, I was like really crying over the last guy that I let inside of me. And it's been so long, but I still am not over it. And I still see him a lot around, like, because we fucking work together, because I made this fucking mistake before. So maybe that's literally why I got rejected. God's like, you're not going to fucking do this again. But
protection measures. He's like, not again. I don't want to hear
bitch.
it. Yeah.
That was God. Okay. But to me, I was like, I'm ugly. I was like, I knew it. It just took me back to like the fourth grade. Like, I'm sobbing. I'm a mess. Like, I literally like crashing out, like, on an existential level. That's how rejection hits me. So
I'm proud of you for like asking that and putting yourself out there. I feel like that's something I need to get better on.
I know.
Because sometimes I just don't even try because I'm like, well, there's like a lot of internalized racism like working like against you, so like in my head I'm like,
no, that's not a thing. I mean, it is a thing, but it's not if you don't consider it a thing, it's not a thing most of the time. Until it is and your intuition will know.
Yeah.
But this is my second time getting rejected. I asked 2 guys to sleep with me this year. Okay, so here's the thing. There's only 3 to 4 men a year that I'm like, okay, maybe I'll sleep with. Okay, this is what I'm noticing about myself. And
you hit the limit. Like once a quarter, done.
Yeah, well, it's just like men. I do not be seeing many fuckable options. I'm not gonna lie to you, who are like really coming to me. So one of them was this dude that like ruined my life, whatever. One of them was this guy who I thought we were kind of flirting, developing feels, whatever. And then I told him I liked him, and he goes, no. Immediately says no. And then he's like, I'm sexually attracted to you, but I don't like you. But we're hanging out though. I'm like, okay.
I'm confused.
Yeah. And then he came over to like try to fuck me. And then my roommate was trying to fuck him. It was a whole thing. It was a lot. It was dramatic. I no longer talk to him, and I no longer talk to
oh, okay. I was gonna say
my old roommate. Yeah. I no longer talk to either of them. But so that guy bites his ass. Those 2 are gone. And then I literally asked my ex, do you want to just fuck? And he said, no, you're going to get too attached. And I said, I'll never talk to you again in my life. I hate you for a week. And then anyways,
you're like, give me a week.
Yeah, exactly. Then this guy, and I'm like, at this point, I'm like, it's comical how much I'm being rejected. But then there's another part of me that is like, this is good. Like, this is good because you'll never have to wonder, like, should I have tried? Imagine I saw, like, let's say this last guy get asked out by like my friend or something, and then they started dating. I would have been like, why didn't I try? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now it's like, okay,
you tried.
2 doors slam shut. I get it. Rejection.
Yes, rejection.
Fucking terrible. When that second dude, the one who said no to me when I told him I liked him. And it was so terrible. Listen, if you're going to tell a guy that you like him and you guys are about to ride the subway, please wait until the last stop, okay? Because then you're going to have to listen to him for 4 stops tell you about how he's so happy that we caught it, that we caught my feeling. Like, he was talking about my feelings like it was a cancer. He said,
"I got it just in time."
We caught it just in time. You bury that shit. Don't have any feelings for me. I was like, okay. And for 4 stops, I'm just sitting there being like, I'm getting rejected. I'm getting rejected. Keep it together. Keep it together.
And it's like that like burning sensation in your chest.
Yes.
You're sitting there and you're like, okay, like hold on. Like, what do I do?
Literally dying.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Wait, I was not expecting to be this open on the pod today. You did something to me. That happened right before this pod, which I need to process that before I tell you guys about that. And that'll be for the stage.
Yeah.
But I feel like it still really fucking hurts.
It always hurts. And there's nothing you can do to like make that not hurt. Like when I got rejected, first of all, I was with my friends and it was a quick phone call because I was like, okay, like I'm gonna take this phone call. And I thought it would be like a very like, hey, you're acting weird, because he was acting weird. I was like, You're acting weird. What's going on? And my friends were like, oh yeah, like go take the phone call. I got rejected on that phone call and it was like this burning sensation, and I came back to the car with my friends.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and they're just like, what's going on? And you can't cry. You're just stuck.
You're in shock.
Like, yeah,
you're definitely in shock, and then it's like the shame, and you're protecting yourself from feeling the shame all at once, because if you do, you could literally break down.
Yeah.
So you have to pretend like it's not that serious or it's not really real. Like you are in a form of a little bit of dissociation to protect yourself.
It's like out of body. You just like
it's literally out of
that
body.
Moment,
yeah.
And then you just have to like work through it and then wait until you get back into body. And it takes a while.
Yeah.
Depending on like who it is. I'm sure like with you, I don't know if you guys were friends or like what the situation was, but it's worse when it's like a friend, you have that emotional connection.
No,
it's
thank
like,
God. With these guys, I asked right away.
Okay,
it was like
perfect.
as soon as I knew them, like let's say a few weeks in, a month.
Yeah.
Actually, this last guy, I guess I met him 3 months ago. So like, no, I don't wait anymore, because the hoping friend will turn into a lover trope. I've been burned by that my whole life. So
I don't believe in that.
No.
I also going back to how you said you're a slow burn. I'm a slow burn, but I'm the same way where it's like you ask right off. I've learned you ask right off the bat.
Yeah.
You set the intention.
Yes.
Because
you have to get clear. What the fuck's happening?
I can do a slow burn.
Yeah.
I gotta know what are we slow burning to what?
Yes. What's
like
the
death?
vibe?
Like what's the vibe? Like where are we going from here? You know?
Yeah.
And
there's one guy right now I have my eye on. Okay, this is the only exception to this list. Remember I told you 4 guys I want to fuck? Okay, so this is the 5th guy. This guy's a slow burn. Okay. I know that like he doesn't trust anybody unless he knows them for at least a couple of years, sees them in different contexts, whatever. And you know what? I'm the same way. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna play this long-term game. My friend literally asked me recently if she could ask him out, but she's poly. She has like a whole husband. So I said, no, you have enough.
save that for the rest of us.
Literally.
Stop being selfish.
Yeah, exactly. No, but she was the one. So she texted me, do you mind if I ask him out? And then I said, I kind of have a crush on him. And then I was like, but you know, I feel like I'm not ready or whatever, like something along the lines of like, it's going to take some time for this to like ever be anything if I try. Sure. I said, you can if you want, but like, I do have a crush on him. And then she was like, you can just say you don't want me to. Like you can tell your friends not to date the guy that you like.
You can. Will I ever do that? No.
But that's so fucking terrifying. I never did that in my life.
Yeah, I've never done that in my life. Also,
I
it
never
feels
did that
so
in my
weirdly
life.
like territorial.
But it's your feelings.
Yeah.
And they matter.
They do matter.
Yeah.
No
And
one
if
taught
your
me that
friend-
though.
That's the thing, but no one taught me either.
Yeah.
And if your friend cares about you and your feelings and your friendship, they won't let this get in the way.
They'll back off.
Exactly. Yeah. So I literally just said no to her and she said okay, and that's it. It's not like I said no to her and then I ran to him and was like, guess what? Like I said this, like let's do something. I left them both alone.
Yeah.
But I put it out there. That was, to me, in that moment, it's like she made me decide that.
Yeah.
Do you like this guy enough to like state your boundary?
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh fuck, I guess I do.
Yeah.
Don't date him.
Yeah.
And she was like,
Don't
okay.
date him.
And then after that, I told another friend of mine that I was getting close to, I said, my ex likes all your pictures and you're really sexy and it makes me self-conscious. And I blocked him and whatever. I had to block him because I couldn't see that anymore. And it wasn't just her. He was liking a lot of girls' pictures. And then she said, do you want me to remove him from my following? And initially I was like, no. I just wanted to make sure like there was nothing like going on. I wanted you to know that me and him had something and that it means a lot to me and that I wouldn't be okay like if you guys were, if there was anything. And she said, absolutely not. You never have to worry about that. And then, do you want me to remove him? And I was like, oh my God, no. Like, how dare I ask for this?
Yes, those feel so much like they feel big.
Yeah, it feels so like now you're taking it too far.
And it's like, I'm going to remove, like, just remove him.
Yeah, but then I thought about it and I sat with it for a couple of days. And I was like, what? My other friend was like, ask what you need.
Yeah.
Ask for what you need. So I told her, I said, can you remove him? Like, it would really mean a lot to, it would just be a really massive gesture of loyalty.
Yeah.
And then she said, yeah, I'll do it right now. And she did it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. I told, first of all, my friends are amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were this amazing that I could tell them like, don't talk to this guy and like take this guy off your
But
Instagram.
I think like attraction is so sacred in most like especially amongst girls. Like you know attraction and like connection is sacred to some degree. So it's like I don't think of a single person in my life who wouldn't do that for me. And if I can think of you and I think that you're not going to do that for me, then you're not my friend. You know what I mean?
Right.
But ask like, and if the roles were reversed, they come to you, they ask you, you do the same thing, I'm sure.
Right.
But asking that, so terrifying.
It's so,
like, insanely weird.
These are the things that if you work on, and like you said, you have to be working on this, your self-worth, your communication, your knowing your boundaries and your wants and your desires.
Yeah.
Stripping. It was so powerful for me to ask this recent guy to hook up with me because I'm going to cry. I had to own that desire. I had to say like, I too am a horny human sexual being who wants to fuck you and I don't want to marry you but I really like you, like I had to sit with that duality and be like, this is okay, I'm not a slut, or I am a slut, but what a slut doesn't mean. I always used to think slut means at any cost. Slut means you don't mind discarding hearts and like chewing up souls.
Yeah.
But that's not what it means, or that's not what I was trying to do. I'm just saying like I consent to like using you for your body and your essence and you consent to it too. That's beautiful. I'm not harming anyone.
Yeah. Well, you're not harming anyone because the boundaries, it's established that this would be transactional.
Yes.
And that's okay sometimes.
Yes.
Like if that's a desire. And
as long as we're honest and upfront.
And I think you put it really well where it's like, you need to know your desires.
Yes.
And you have to figure that, like that's every woman's homework, figure out her desires.
Yes.
Because I know like my desires, I'm like, I don't know where to begin. Like, and also it comes not just sex, like relationships too. Like, what do you desire in a partner, right? Like, what do you desire in sex? Like, what do you, I don't know.
Right.
Like, don't ask me those, actually. But no.
Well, that comes from more also exploring your own body, like we said, solo exploration. So what are you doing now for like your own?
Like figuring it out.
Yeah.
I think one, talking about it.
Yeah.
I think I do a lot of consensus building, and this is just in general. Like I go to person A and B and C and D and like Z, and I'm like, okay, this is the situation. What would you do? And I connect everyone's opinions, and I'm like, okay, like she said this, I like that. He said that, I reject that. You know, I do a lot of consensus building. I have realized that you can't consensus build experiences. You need to feel the experiences. You got to like actually do the experiences. So,
and also like, it's like in math or, physics or something. It's like, you can be taught the formula, or you can be taught how to solve it, but until you actually see it in front of you, until you're actually in it, and then you'll understand what the concept actually feels like. Because you could have, there could be a mismatch in what you thought it was going to be versus what it actually feels like, or what it actually is. And then you're like, oh shit, this is why people get pulled into these fucking cycles or patterns or cliches.
No, that's what I learned, where it's like, oh, this is why. Because it's addicting. And it's like,
your body takes over.
Don't know.
Yeah.
Like, especially if it's your first time feeling these feelings.
Right.
You don't know like how strong they are. And it depends on the person. Some people elicit like neutral responses. Some people elicit like stronger.
Like it's like a drug.
Like full body. Like I can't stop like going back to you. And I think it's realizing like, one, you have to experience those experiences, but also two, like desire is just something that's like part of human nature. Like that's, what do you desire? Like that's part of human nature. You should desire a lot of things. You should be able to like look at your life and be like, my relationship, my love life, my sex life is part of my life. Like it's not a separate entity. It's the same thing.
And it's something that I have goals for.
Yes.
I have aspirations towards. And that brings me back to my original point. I need a partner who's going to prioritize sex like this, because it's not a non-negotiable for me. Like the more we take care of our sex life, the more our bond is going to be good. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
It's also like, it's a trust thing, right? Like the more we prioritize this, the more we explore this together, the more I'm going to fall like more deeply for you. And also like part of it for me personally is like that idea of like, okay, if you don't have premarital sex, wait until you get married, like you have sex then. There's so many experiences that like you didn't get to experience.
Right.
Now you have someone who you can experience it with.
Right.
They need to be on the same page as you.
Exactly.
Like, maybe they have experience.
That's
and I don't.
the risk, honestly, with not having premarital sex. It's like you have absolutely no idea what your chemistry is, unless I don't know what kind of relationship you have. Like, because some people don't have sex, but they're like basically making out and like super cuddly and all. Like they do get physical, but they don't have sex. But, otherwise it's like, I just feel like, I don't know, it's a big risk to not know how this person moves or what fears and insecurities they have, and like what levels you guys are at and what mindset you're bringing into this relationship when it comes to sex.
And no amount of talking can like tell you those answers. Like you gotta feel it out. And also it depends again like on the person and relationship. Like maybe in your first relationship you're like, this is the boundary, and then in that relationship you're like, we could move this. You know? Like it moves. Boundaries move. That's shocking to me.
We were talking about this. You said, but that's the thing, because we were friend zoned our whole lives. We were starved. We're starved for anything. And then the second you get it, you can build a home with this breadcrumb. Eventually, with time, you realize it's not enough. You keep setting more.
You realize one brick is not enough for the full foundation.
Exactly. And then each experience, it's like you're building over what you were last expecting and demanding. And now, we've gotten to a point where I will ask men who've emotionally damaged me for money.
Exactly. As you should.
As I should. And that's what happened right before this podcast episode that I keep referring to, that I will tell you guys on stage because I need to process it. But final words, do you want to tell? I feel like I yapped this whole... That's insane to me. This is all supposed to be about you. It became about the details of me in the bedroom.
No, I appreciated it. It took the pressure off of me. I'm sitting here, I'm sweating.
You interviewed me today. That's what happened.
Great. That's my favorite thing to do, by the way.
Yeah. Do you want to record into the camera? Say, hi, guys. Welcome to the pod.
Hi, guys. Welcome to the pod. I'm your host. No, this is consensus building. What I was talking about, I'm really good at this. Like, I'll go into a conversation and it'll be like, so what do you think?
You're gathering intel right now.
I am. I'm taking notes, figuring it out.
But I get it. I'm exactly like you. I'm Virgo A+ student. I want to know as much as humanly possible about...
Give me the textbook.
Yeah, about a field before I enter it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So... it's going to happen whenever you're ready. Like we had our last guest, Sarah Arabic, who's an adult performer. She's an adult film star. She literally sat me down after our session and I was kind of freaking out, being like, I'm celibate for this long. I really want to have sex. It was around the time where I was about to ask that guy. Mm-hmm. And she literally told me like, how amazing and empowered is it for you to be in a situation where you don't feel pressure to have sex when everybody else in our society is fucking left, right, and center. Mm-hmm. She's like, that shows so much agency, and you're actually like, you're being alt, you're going against the crowd or whatever. And I was like, I love that the most halal pep talk I've gotten thus far is from a porn star. If Mama and Baba could see this, like, if my parents could see this, you know what I mean? And she's great, by the way. I really feel like her energy, she was so grounded. Like, I asked her about everything in her relationship to her body, if she dissociates, etc. And I was just so like pleasantly surprised. But she made it a point to be like, she didn't do anything until she was ready. She never pushed herself. She watched porn for many years. She learned about her own self-exploration from Tumblr. Like, she took a long time. And even her, like, becoming a porn star was something she didn't really see. It just kind of like her path like led her there. And I'm carrying that with me. Like, no pressure to do anything. Everyone on their own timeline. We are, like we said earlier, living out our teens in our 30s. It's just a reality. This is the deck we've been handed spiritually, and we're making the best out of it, you know?
Yeah. And I think like that's just the overall takeaway, where it's like everyone has their own timeline. One, everyone has their own timeline. No one knows what they're doing, contrary to popular belief. And two, it's like, this is agency. Figuring it out is agency.
Right.
And so do what you will with that. Like, act in accordance to however you want to be, you know, however you want to have your own agency.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, this was amazing. Thank you so much. Guys, if you enjoyed this episode, please follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok, follow us on YouTube. We put out episodes every single week at 8 a.m. on Mondays, Eastern Standard Time. If this episode resonated with you, if you liked hearing me mostly talk about pleasure and talk about rejection, if you enjoyed this and if you have a story that you want to tell, please email us at thesecretsexlives.muslimwomen@gmail.com. And yeah, we'll see you next episode. And remember, your story matters, even if it's being silenced, especially if it's being silenced. I'm your host, Salma Hindi. We are recording live from Manhattan at 30 Irving Studios. Thank you, and we'll see you next episode.